Mythbusters Product Boss Edition. So here's a myth we want to bust for you, right? That being a handmade business means it has to be made with your own two hands.
Right. It can be somebody else's hands.
Could you hear that? It can be somebody else's hands. It can still be your hands, but also other hands as well. So, hey, I'm Jacqueline. This is Mina, and we are the co-hosts and the co-founders of the Product Boss and the Product Boss podcast. So we hear this discussion all the time in our community and with our students that a lot of makers believe that in order to scale, it's that saying, makers gotta make, right? Makers gotta make, and makers gotta make with their own two hands. And it's really just not true. We're gonna bust that myth wide open right now.
Yeah, I think that it kind of limits you because it is indeed a limiting belief, right? That you think that you have to make everything in production with your own two hands in order to sell it and consider it handmade. But that is just simply untrue. That is a myth. The truth of it is that it can be anybody's hands. It can be outsourced hands. It could be a team member's hands. They go by your design and by what you created, but it's somebody else's hands and you're still a handmade business.
Yeah, and I come from the fashion world, like mass manufacturing, fashion, apparel. I've worked for some big brands. I've launched over 1,000 fashion brands myself, and they're not mine. They're clients' businesses, but nonetheless. Now, what I want to say about that, though, is that there are still hands making those clothes, right?
Yeah, everything is essentially handmade.
Yeah, there's someone operating the machine, right?
Yeah.
There's someone cutting the fabric. There's someone stitching on the buttons. So it depends on whose hands. Now, you get to choose that as a business owner. Who, where, how do you want to make your products? But we want to just shift that mindset for you that it has to be your own, because so often people believe like, I can't grow, I can't scale because my own two hands can't physically make more than what I'm making, right? We've heard sewers say like people who make clothing are like, I'm never going to leave my sewing machine, or I'm never going to leave my basement pouring candles, or I'm never going to leave my workshop, creating jewelry.
Yeah.
They cannot conceive someone else's hands helping them grow and scale their business.
Right, and they really get stuck because they attach themselves and they're holding on so tightly to the fact that they need to be handmade. And the thing is, that's great, that's wonderful. People do want that special thing that you're making, but it can be made by somebody else's hands.
Right, so we want you to consider that. We want you to think through your making process, your production process, and what parts of this can you outsource, right? What parts of this can you scale? What parts of this can you, get help with? You don't have to do it yourself.
Right. What parts can you simplify, repeat, and illustrate? That's the first thing that you hire out for, is that whatever part of your production process or shipping process or fulfillment that you can have somebody else do with their hands and still stay a handmade business.
Yeah, and that's how you're going to scale, my friends. That's how you are going to be able to keep up with production. You're going to be able to get onto other platforms. You're going to be able to grow your handmade business. So this is what we want to hear in the comments, all right? We want to see the word busted in the comments if we have busted this myth for you, and that you see now that there are ways in which you can grow your handmade business without it being with your own two hands. So just leave that in the comments below. Busted. Now listen, we know a ton of people are going to be spending money this year. Like, they've saved it up and they've got all this money to spend, especially during the holiday season, and we want it to be with you. So make sure to follow along, share this video with someone that you think it would be helpful to, and we cannot wait to continue to help you grow.